Ladies and gentlemen, today we're diving into the life of one of Hollywood's most iconic blonde bombshells, a woman whose name may not be as widely recognized as Marilyn Monroe or Jane Mansfield, but who was no less captivating, Mamie Van Doren. With her rebellious spirit, bold attitude, and undeniable allure, Mamie forged her own unique path in Hollywood and beyond. Her journey is one of resilience, reinvention, and unapologetic self-expression. Born Joan Lucille Olander on February 6, 1931, in Rowena, South Dakota, Mamie Van Doren's beginnings were humble. Growing up during the Great Depression, her family, like many others, struggled to make ends meet. Her parents, Warner and Lucille Olander, moved to different states in search of a better life, eventually settling in Los Angeles, California. It was here that young Joan first got a taste of the entertainment world, a world that would soon become her destiny. From a young age, Mamie had dreams of stardom. At the age of 17, she won the Miss Palm Springs beauty pageant, which sparked interest in her as a model and actress. It was around this time that she adopted the stage name Mamie Van Doren, a nod to Mamie Eisenhower, the then First Lady of the United States. Her new name helped her stand out, adding a touch of glamour and mystique that would serve her well throughout her career. In 1949, Mamie caught the eye of billionaire Howard Hughes, who was known not only for his business ventures but also for his romantic relationships with young starlets. Hughes signed Mamie to a contract with RKO Pictures, though her early roles were small and largely forgettable. However, Hughes saw potential in her and groomed her to be the next big thing. Though the relationship was brief, Hughes's influence helped get Mamie's foot in the door of Hollywood. In the early 1950s, as Marilyn Monroe's star was rising, Hollywood began to crave more actresses with similar sex appeal. Mamie, with her platinum blonde hair, sultry looks, and vivacious personality, fit the bill perfectly. She soon began landing roles in films that capitalized on her bombshell image, although they were often B-movies rather than the high-profile productions she had hoped for. Some of her most notable early films include The All-American, 1953, Yankee Pasha, 1954, and Untamed Youth, 1957, the latter of which became a cult classic and solidified her status as a rebellious sex symbol. Mamie was part of the 3Ms of Hollywood during the 1950s, alongside Marilyn Monroe and Jane Mansfield. But unlike Monroe, who often grappled with the confines of being typecast, or Mansfield, who fully embraced her bombshell persona, Mamie seemed to revel in her role as the unapologetic sex symbol. She played her parts with confidence and flair, often portraying the bad girl or the misunderstood outsider, and she did so with an unmistakable sense of fun. Her movies were filled with rock and roll, bikinis, and scandal, making her a popular figure among teenage audiences. One of Mamie's defining characteristics was her rebellious nature. While Hollywood tried to mold her into a particular image, she refused to conform entirely. She was outspoken, refusing to take roles she felt were beneath her, and was candid about her frustrations with the film industry. In a time when women were expected to fit into certain molds, Mamie stood out as someone who wasn't afraid to challenge those expectations. She was one of the few actresses of her time who openly discussed issues like sexism in Hollywood, a conversation that was far ahead of its time. In addition to her film career, Mamie Van Doren's personal life was just as colorful and headline-grabbing as her roles on screen. She was married 5 times and had numerous high-profile relationships with some of the most famous men in Hollywood, including Clark Gable, Burt Reynolds, and Steve McQueen. Her romantic escapades often kept her name in the tabloids, further cementing her image as a glamorous and unattainable sex symbol. However, it wasn't just her relationships that made Mamie famous. She was a trailblazer when it came to sexual freedom and was unapologetically open about her love life in a time when such openness was taboo. She posed for Playboy magazine, becoming one of the early sex symbols to embrace the platform. Mamie often said that she felt empowered by her sexuality and used it as a way to break free from the constraints placed upon her by Hollywood. But despite the glamour and fame, Mamie's career began to decline in the 1960s as the film industry shifted its focus away from the sex symbol archetype. While she continued to work in films and television, her roles became increasingly rare, and she was often relegated to cameo appearances or B-movie parts. However, rather than fading into obscurity, Mamie reinvented herself. In the 1970s and beyond, Mamie embraced her status as a cult icon. She began performing in live shows and cabaret acts, traveling the country and keeping her connection to her fans alive. She also ventured into writing, publishing her autobiography Playing the Field in 1987, which became a bestseller. In her autobiography, Mamie gave readers an unfiltered look into her life, discussing her struggles with Hollywood, her marriages, and her thoughts on feminism and sexuality. It was a bold move that further solidified her reputation as a woman who refused to be silenced or boxed in. In recent years, Mamie has continued to embrace her cult status, making appearances at conventions, film festivals, and retrospectives celebrating her work. She has maintained a presence on social media, where she engages with fans and reflects on her career. Even well into her 90s, Mamie Van Doren remains a fierce, outspoken, and independent figure, a true icon of Hollywood's golden age who has outlived the era that made her famous. While Mamie never reached the same level of mainstream success as some of her peers, her legacy is undeniable. She was a woman who took control of her image and her career, often pushing back against the rigid expectations placed on her by the industry and society at large. Mamie's unapologetic embrace of her sexuality and her candidness about the challenges she faced as a woman in Hollywood have made her a feminist icon in her own right. Though Mamie Van Doren's career had its ups and downs, she has always remained true to herself, a quality that has kept her relevant and beloved by fans across generations. As the years went by, she continued to embrace the image of the Hollywood blonde bombshell, while simultaneously critiquing the very system that created such stereotypes. This dichotomy has been a key element of her lasting appeal. Even in an industry that often tries to control and define its stars, Mamie never let herself be boxed into one persona for too long. In the 1980s, when many actresses of her era faded into obscurity, Mamie found new ways to stay in the public eye. Her bold personality made her a popular guest on television talk shows, and she became known for her candid interviews, in which she spoke freely about topics like aging, sexuality, and the changing nature of Hollywood. While some may have dismissed her as merely a relic of a bygone era, Mamie proved that she still had plenty to say, and people were eager to listen. Her autobiography, Playing the Field, became an instant hit when it was released in 1987. The book pulled back the curtain on the glamorous and often turbulent world of Hollywood, offering readers an inside look at what it was like to navigate the industry as a sex symbol. Mamie didn't shy away from discussing the difficulties she faced, from the pressures to conform to Hollywood's beauty standards to the personal challenges of balancing her career with her marriages and relationships. But true to form, Mamie approached these topics with wit, humor, and an unapologetic attitude. The success of her autobiography helped introduce Mamie to a new generation of fans who admired her for her candidness and resilience. Her story resonated with many who saw her as a pioneer for women in Hollywood, someone who had managed to carve out a career on her own terms. Unlike many of her contemporaries, Mamie refused to be defined solely by her looks or her roles on screen. She saw herself as a multidimensional woman, one who was constantly evolving and adapting to the changes in her life and the world around her. In the years that followed, Mamie continued to embrace her role as a feminist icon and a symbol of female empowerment. She has spoken openly about the challenges faced by women in the entertainment industry, and has often criticized the way Hollywood treats aging actresses. Mamie has made it clear that she refuses to be sidelined simply because of her age. And her determination to stay active and engaged in the public eye has earned her a great deal of respect from fans and critics alike. In recent years, Mamie has found a new platform for connecting with fans through social media. Her presence on platforms like Twitter and Instagram has allowed her to reach a younger audience, many of whom may not have been familiar with her early work but are drawn to her outspoken personality and sense of humor. Mamie's posts often reflect her love of life, her passion for social issues, and her unshakable confidence in herself, making her a beloved figure for fans of all ages. Through it all, Mamie has never lost her sense of individuality. While she may have been part of the 3Ms in the 1950s alongside Marilyn Monroe and Jane Mansfield, Mamie has long since proven that she is more than just a Hollywood stereotype. She is a woman who has lived life on her own terms, and her story is one of persistence, independence, and unbreakable spirit. At nearly 100 years old, Mamie Van Doren continues to be a symbol of resilience and empowerment, reminding us all that age is just a number and that life is meant to be lived fully, unapologetically, and on your own terms. Her legacy is a testament to the power of self-confidence and the importance of remaining true to oneself, no matter what obstacles come your way. As we reflect on the life and career of Mamie Van Doren, it's clear that her impact on Hollywood and popular culture will be felt for many years to come. She may not have achieved the same level of fame as some of her contemporaries, But her influence as a trailblazer and feminist icon has left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry. Mamie Van Doren is not just a star of the past, she is a living legend whose story continues to inspire people around the world. In conclusion, Mamie Van Doren's life is a shining example of what it means to be true to oneself. She faced numerous challenges, from the struggles of her early life to the difficulties of navigating Hollywood's often unforgiving landscape. Yet through it all, Mamie never lost sight of who she was or what she stood for. Her story is one of triumph over adversity, of breaking down barriers, and of embracing life with joy and passion. Mamie Van Doren is more than just a Hollywood bombshell, she is a true icon, a woman who has lived life on her own terms and continues to inspire us all with her strength, confidence, and unwavering spirit.